left these in because one of my experienced pen tester students that left said these first ones are good to get people started with the basic ideas. I used to have like 10 or 20 more of these, but I threw them all away because of the Web Security Academy is better. This is made by the people who make Burp, and it's a free product, and it's bloody awesome. So you need to join the Academy. Now I've already joined it, I think in my Burp browser. But anyway, when you join, you just go to this website and sign in. And they will assign you a password, which is incredible, like 25 random characters, and you can't change it. And you have to log in, and then you're in a thing called the Web Security Academy. You have to have Burp installed on your machine, and then you can run Burp browser. So let me get Burp going. After you have Burp, then, all right, start Burp. And now I go to the proxy tab, and intercept is on. You have to turn that off. If intercept is on, Burp blocks all the network traffic. You normally want it off. And then I open the browser inside Burp. And at any place I go in here, like if I go to ccsf.edu, I can load pages in here. It's going to warn me by crossing out the HTTPS. This stuff is being loaded through broken HTTPS. It's broken because Burp is intercepting the traffic and decrypting it. So all the certificates are invalid, and it warns you this way. It's never going to stop going there, but that's the warning. And if you look at the certificate, click on this, the content is being proxied through the Burp suite. And if you look at the certificate details, you'll see the certificate comes from Portswigger, which is the company that made Burp. It does not come from the real certificate authority for City College. So you're going through a proxy with a fake certificate, which then goes to the real ccsf.edu website. And that's why they put that little cross out there to warn you, don't be typing passwords in here and trusting it. But Burp is intercepting them, and you can see here all the web requests that built the City College web page. And like any modern web page, it's got a lot of pieces, mostly JavaScript, loading all kinds of scripts and images and stuff. 111 requests were needed to build that page. So now we're in here. Now I'm going to go to the Web Security Academy here, and let's see if I'm still logged in. I'm probably going to have to log in again. Yeah, I'm going to have to log in again. So let me go find my account. I'm going to stop screen sharing for a minute while I find my account. I got a couple of them. Not that it really matters, but if I was going to get like the certification. There, Portswigger. There's this one, SamCCSF9. I should be able to actually copy the password here. All right. Okay, SamCCSF9. And there's theoretically this will work. Let's see. SamCCSF9. And then it should be in my clipboard, this long, horrible password. I'm in. Good. Let me start sharing again. All right. Doesn't really matter because that's just my demo account, but you know. All right. So now I'm in. I've logged into an account. It's a free account. And now you can see products. Academy. That's what I want. All right. Here's the Web Security Academy. And there's all kinds of things to learn down here. And I just want to see all labs. All labs, there we are. And now you can learn all sorts of things here. So probably the simplest one to get started with is path traversal. So let me find that. They're not actually in much of an order. They're not even in the order of easiest to hardest, but path traversal is a pretty simple one. So here's how the lab works. You have to launch the lab here, and what I always recommend is launch it in a new tab. So this gives you the description of the lab, and they give you a solution, and then right-click and open the Access the Lab. Now, what happens here, and the reason why this is so much better than, say, My Projects, in My Projects, you're all hacking the same server and gradually messing it up and ruining it. In this one, every student gets their own server. It takes a few seconds to spin up. You're getting your own container, and you have different flags than everybody else. And they throw it away when you're done. This is the modern way to do it. You're working in a Docker container that is spun up just temporarily for one student. So here we have some shopping website where you can view details of products and log in and such. And so here's the, this lab contains a path traversal vulnerability, retrieve the contents of the etc password file. And they show you here how to solve it. So use Burp Suite to intercept and modify a request, modify the file name parameter to this. So now I'm not going to do it that way because intercepting is a little hard. You don't really need to intercept. They say fetch a product image. Now in principle, if I go to my Burp Suite, which has been running all along here, there's a whole lot of requests down here for all sorts of things, and I would have to dig through all this to find the good stuff, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw away all this bad stuff with clear history, because I don't want to wade through all that hunting for the good stuff. Now I want to load just an image, so I'll right-click this and open Image in New Tab. So now I've made a request that loads an image and nothing else. And now I don't have to worry about it. Now notice here, though, it hides image content. That's a rude thing. By default, they don't show you that. You have to click on this and check images, which is not the default setting of Burp. That's a little bit rude. But now I can see the request that loaded the image. So I click on that. Down here I can see the request, but this is history. That's why there's two ways to change the request. One is to intercept it and modify it, but the easier way is to repeat it, and that's what I'm going to do. You right-click this and send it to the repeater. And in the repeater, you can now see the request, and you can send it and see what the response is, and then you can modify it and send it. And what they said was, change this file name to the path to what you want, which is .. / etc password, which is going to take me up several directories from the default directory, which if it's an Apache web server, which it probably is, it's in var www.html. So going up 3 times gets me to the root of the system, and then I can come back down to etc password, and this file, I can probably just dump it out here. So if I send that, and that's the contents of the password file. It no longer contains passwords, it just has X's here, which means the passwords are in another file called shadow. But the point is, that should have solved the lab, and it should have noticed here and given me, yep, congratulations, you solved the lab. So I got my points. And you can see your points. There's a way to see your, the dashboard. There's a way to see, yeah, your learning progress. Here you can see how many labs you've solved. That's it. And every lab is worth 10 points. And from now on, you should do 20 points of these every week for most of the class. And you can do a lot of extras here, enough to, replace the final exam and the quizzes and the other projects and everything else. Like I say, if you do enough of these, it's enough points. The total is like 540 you need to get or something like that. It's in Canvas. So like I say, get in here. This is a lot of fun. These things are great. They're completely up to date. They keep adding new ones, and they even have instructions. Some of them are very hard, but most of them are pretty easy, and they've broken up apprentice, practitioner, and then expert for some of them. So every week I'll demonstrate a couple of these, and you should do at least 2 of these every week, but you might find it fun to do more. They're all very good. So that's what I wanted to get you started with. Let me stop this recording.